Okay, so let's look at the workings here to the suspense question on O'Brien. The first adjustment here, the first working says that car parts previously sold on credit for 825 had been returned to O'Brien. So what do we have here, lads? We have a sales returns. So we have a sales returns, and the other account that'll affect will be, of course, your debtors, okay? As you need to readjust your debtors. And these returns had been incorrectly, so here we have an error, okay? Entered as 75 on the credit of the equipment account, okay, and as 83 on the debit of the purchase account. So those two things need to be corrected. So let's do our corrections first of all. The first account I'll open up here, lads, is equipment. Okay. If we open up the equipment account, all right, the mistake was a 75 on the credit, so we need to correct it by putting a 75 on the debit side. Okay, the next account that there was an error in was your purchases. Okay, they tell us that there was an 83 euro on the debit of the purchases, so we need to put an 83 euro on the credit of the purchases. Okay, so there is your correction of your errors. Now, we must also correctly enter this transaction. Okay, so we have sales returns. Okay, sales returns as correctly is a debit entry of 825 as your returns are coming back into your sales returns account. Okay, and the account that this affects then is, of course, your debtors. Okay, initially you would have put 825 on this side here. Okay, so if you have a sales returns, you must reduce that asset by 825. And there is your 4 entries, lads. Okay, come over here. We'll do a journal for you guys. Okay, so we've got equipment. Okay, debit entry 75. We've got purchases. Credit entry 83. We've got sales returns. Debit entry of 825. We've got debtors, which is a credit entry of 825. So in this case here, as we can see, we have a suspense, okay, which is €8 on the debit side. Just a note here beside these where they go. We know this goes into the balance sheet. This is going to your P&L. This will also go to your P&L, balance sheet, and your suspense. Okay, and your one-liner then, lads, I'll let you finish these. I'm sure you've got the hang of it at this stage. Okay, so this is being corrected. Okay, and you can finish that off. All right. Okay, the next working, lads. Working 2. It says O'Brien had returned a car previously purchased on credit for 14,700. So this is your purchase returns, and it's going to affect your creditors. And had entered this transaction in the relevant ledger accounts incorrectly as 13,350. However, credit notes subsequently arrived from the supplier showing a restocking charge of 300, and the only entry made in respect to this credit note was a credit entry of 14,400 in the creditor's account. Okay, we've seen this many times, as this is your typical case of what should have happened and what actually happened. So if we look at here, we'll do what should have happened first of all. Okay, so what should have happened was you open up your purchase returns. Okay, your purchase returns is 14,700, credit entry obviously. Okay, and then we obviously put in your debit entry of your creditors. Okay, 14,700. Then your restocking charge was 300, which is a debit entry in the purchase returns and a credit entry into your creditors account. We balance off these accounts. Okay, do it in red so you can see a little bit more clearly. So you've got a CD, okay, 14,100, which means you've got a opening balance of 14,400. Likewise over here, it's CD, 14,400, and then your BD balance is a debit 14,400. Okay, so they're the opening balances that we want. So let's look at what actually happened. So this is what happened. We just correct what happened. Okay, so the relevant accounts were used. So we've got our purchase returns here. We've got our creditors. All right. Now, what did they do? They put in this figure 13,350. So 13,350 rather than 14,700. And the only entry then in relation to this restocking charge was a credit entry of 14,400 in the creditors account. Okay. Now what I'll do down here, okay, is I'll just bring down the BD balance. So the BD balance of 14,400 is what I require down here. So we need to make that happen. Okay, well the purchase returns count is easy. I'll use the green marker here, lads. If you want that balance BD to be 14,400, okay, well we need to add on the difference between 13,350 and 14,400. So in this case it's 1,050. Adding those two together will give you the 14,400 that you require. Okay, so that's the first entry. So I'll do over here, lads. Open up a general journal. You'll see why now I'm doing this. It's a little shortcut for you. Okay, so your purchase returns, all right, is a credit entry of 1,050. We know we're going to have a creditor's entry. We know we're also going to have a suspense. Okay, and your suspense in this question, as we know, lads, is going to be 14,400. If you add 14,400 to 1,050, well then we know that's going to be our creditor's figure. Our creditor's figure here, gentlemen, if you require a balance brought down, okay, of 14,400 on the credit debit side, you're going to want to put a figure in here. Okay, so that means that's going to be a credit entry in your general journal. Adding those two figures together, that 1,050 and 14,400 will give you 15,450. And we can simply, with the green marker again, put in the 15,450 here. That will give you your required balance. All right. Again, purchase returns is a P&L, balance sheet for creditors, and suspense for suspense. And once again, lads, it's a suspense, so it's being corrected. And again, you can finish that off. All right. Now, moving on to the third. It says a car purchased on credit, okay, from Alan for 18,000 had been entered on the incorrect side of Alan's account. Okay, remember Alan is your creditor. Okay, so it's entered on the incorrect side of your creditor's account. Okay. And credit as 1,800 in the equipment account. All right. So what we need to do now is, first of all, I would fix the creditor's account, gents. Okay, so open up the creditor's account. Okay, so if we think about this for a second, okay, it's been entered on the incorrect side. Now, it's a car purchased on credit. If you purchase, or if someone purchases a car from you on credit, okay, and they then owe you money. Have I read that right? A car purchased on credit from Alan, excuse me. Okay, so we're purchasing a car on credit from Alan. Okay, so therefore Alan are our creditor. All right, so if we were to purchase a car on credit, okay, that means it would be a credit entry, okay, in our creditor's account, but they put it on the incorrect side. Okay, so they would have put it on this side here, okay, by accident. So therefore, to reverse that transaction, we need to put 18,000 in here. So that brings it back to 0, and then we put in the correct entry of 18,000 then. Okay, now we need to correct the equipment account. Okay, so what they say to us here is that they credit it as 1,800 in the equipment account. So credited would have been in here. So to reverse that, okay, we obviously put in the 1,800 to bring that back to 0. Okay, and what should have happened in regards to that second entry of 18,000, the correct entry of 18,000 to creditors, okay, is obviously to open up your purchases. Okay, and your purchase would have received 18,000. All right, we can open up a general journal here. So we've got creditors. Okay, 36,000 here and there. 36,000, gentlemen, obviously, is 18,000 plus 18,000. Okay, we've got equipment, which is 1,800. We've got purchases. Okay, 18,000. Okay, so we've got ourselves a suspense. Excuse me. Okay, and our suspense here is we add these up and take them away from 36,000. Okay, we get 16,200. Okay, just a quick note where they go. Balance sheet, P&L, and suspense. It's a suspense, so once again, as it's being corrected. You can give your reasons why. Okay, on to the fourth. It says a private debt for 1,448, okay, by O'Brien had been offset in full against a business debt of 1,500 owed to the firm for work carried out. So no entry had been made in these books. Okay, well, if a private debt, gents, okay, is going to be offset against a business debt owed to them, well, then you have drawings. Okay, because that money is not coming into the firm, okay? He's using it to pay his own private debt. Alright, so drawings, as we know, is an expense. Now, what do you put in? Do you put in the 1,448 or do you put in the 1,500? Okay, well, you're offsetting it, okay? So your private debt is technically 1,448. So that's how much money you are actually taking away from the business. Now, you've been allowed, or you have allowed discount, okay, and you've allowed discount to 52, which is also an expense, okay. All right, so that's technically correct. All right, so 1,448 was what your drawings were, okay. That's how much was paid, okay, to cover that debt of 1,500. It's just that you happen to receive €52 or allowed €52 discount. All right. And then you've got your debtors, 1,500. Okay, as that 1,448 plus your 52 is taken care of, that 1,500 that was owed to you. General journal then again, lads, you've got drawings, 1,448. You've got discount, 52. You've got your debtors. Okay, 1,500. Here there is no suspense. Okay, drawings is your balance sheet, discount is P&L, and debtors is balance sheet. Okay, this is just simply then being recorded. And you can give your one-liner there as to why it was being recorded. Okay, finally then, your last working, it says O'Brien won a private holiday prize for 2 worth 9,000. One ticket will be given to a salesperson commission and the other as a creditor as payment in full of a debt of 5,100. Okay, so this is a really easy one, lads. Okay, I know entries have been made in the books about this, so there's no correction of errors. So the first one here, lads, you've got is capital introduced. Okay, of 9,000. And he split this ticket up into tickets into 2. And the first thing he did was pay commission, which is an expense. Okay, the next thing he did then was paid off a creditor. Okay, the amount you paid off to creditors was 5,100. If you only gave them a ticket of 4,500, you've obviously received discount. The amount of discount you received is 600. Okay, and really quickly over here, boys, your general journal, capital, 9,000. Okay, you got your sales commission, 4,500. You've got your creditors. Okay, 5,1. And you've got your discount, 600. Okay, again, they all match up, lovely and balanced. Therefore, don't have suspense. Capital is balance sheet. Sales commission is a P&L expense. Creditor is a balance sheet, and discount is a P&L entry. Okay, and once again, lads, it's just being recorded. Alright, so there, lads, are your workings, okay, to the suspense for O'Brien. Alright, and what I'll do then on Unmodal, lads, is I'll post up the accounts as well. Okay, any questions, lads, please get on to me.